How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. So in this video, we're going to look at 5 keys that are dropping in price. Some of them by quite a bit, actually. Let me see if I can find the biggest one on here. 91%. So not the highest I've seen, but close to it. It's very rare that you see something above I think like 93. I think that's only a couple times. But 91, very, very high. So we're going to go through some of these comic books that are dropping in price. Yeah. A lot of people have asked me, they're like, why do you always do negative stuff? I do a positive video too. I always try to balance it out. I always have one that's 5 keys going up and 5 keys going down. But the problem is people don't watch the other one as much. So the algorithm doesn't push it. So if you're not the type of person that literally just goes to my channel every day and sees what videos I make and you just wait for the algorithm to push you a video of mine, then you're not going to see it. So yeah, I'm working on a really cool going up video. I kind of bit off a little more than I could chew on this one. So I don't know if I'll get it out this weekend. So I might have to push it till next weekend. But very cool. And no one will watch it, I'm sure. But very cool. I like it. I'm doing something different. Anyways, let's get into the 5 keys that are dropping. All right, first is we got a SpiderMan 361. This is the first appearance of Carnage. Now, a 9.8 is currently sitting at about $275. In January, it was averaging $339. So just a few months ago, at the beginning of the year, averaging $339. It's down 19%. In all of 2023, it averaged $440. That's down 38%. And then at its peak, it was selling for $1620. That's down 83%. So yeah, $1620, quite a bit. I was like, this can't be right. I looked up. Oh, it'd be right. So way too much. Because if you go back to before, it's kind of selling for right before it got any kind of boom, during the comic boom whatsoever. But that's crazy that a book can go from like $270 to like $1,600. It's insane. Now, if I had to guess where this book is going, it looks like it's kind of flattened out, I would say. Like, it's bumpy, no, every month is not going to be perfectly flat, so it's bumpy. It looks like it can still drop a little bit more. So my guess is this is going to probably be around the $250 to $300 mark for a 9.8. That's why I think it's going to land. All right, next we've got West Coast Avengers number 45, first appearance of the White Vision. America still needs your help. A 9.8 is currently sitting at $161. Beginning of the year, selling average $190, so that's some 15%. In all of 2023, it averaged $268, down 40%, and then at its peak was $1950, 91%. So quite a bit, dropping by 91%. Yeah. White Vision, I honestly know White Vision mostly from that video game, that arcade game that I'd always play and just burn through quarters. Yeah, great video game, but man, was it expensive. I could never get very far because when I was a kid, a quarter was, worth a lot more back then. Like you could buy a house with a quarter. But now, a quarter is pretty much nothing. But yeah, you'd burn through quarters. I might even get like 3 or 4 quarters and it was gone. So great video game. Cool cover. I kind of like the White Vision look, personally, more than the other Vision looks. But I think this is its bottom, to be honest. Like I'm looking, it could go a little more, but I'm guessing this will be probably around $125 to $175 book in a 9.8. That's probably where that range is going to be. I don't think it's going to be a below $100 book. Not saying that one won't go for below $100, but I'm just saying on average, it's probably going to sit around there. This is not a major key. I don't know why people were paying such high price just because the MCU came out with their Disney Plus show and they had White Vision. I mean, very cool looking, but this book doesn't warrant that. All right, next we got is Daredevil number 9. First appearance of Echo. A 9.8 is currently sitting at $155. In the beginning of the year, selling on average $199. That's down 22%. And all of 2023 was sitting at $215. That's down 27%. And it peaked at $1050. That's down 85%. Yeah. So it had a high peak, but then it started going down. But then it kind of flatlined. And I think it flatlined for like a good part of like 2023. Because people are like, oh, the Echo TV show is going to come out. So they're holding on hope. And then just recently it's like, oh, the Echo show is no good. Boom. So Yeah, I think this will drop more. I think this will be above $100. I think this will probably, I mean, cool artwork, but it'll probably sit around like $100 to $150 book. So right now, I think it's gonna drop a little bit from where it's at now. All right, next is we got Venom Lethal Protector #1, a 9.8, currently sitting at 101. In January, it was selling for about 114, down 11%. In all of 2023, it averaged about 170. That's down 45%, and then it peaked at 400. It's down 75% since then. Yeah, I don't know why it peaked at 400. That's way too high for this book. This book was mass produced. There's a lot of them. It had a harder cover compared to its more flimsy. It was a little tougher because of all the holographics and all that kind of stuff on it. Made it stay in better shape longer. So even got more 9.8s out there. This book, in my opinion, will always be a $75 to $125 book. So where it's sitting at $101, I think that's pretty much its middle average. And long term of this book, I mean, it has a cool cover, very iconic cover. That's going to help it, but it's very mass produced. I would say this book, long term, don't like maybe at one point it would be selling for $200. And then when I say at one point, I don't mean like anytime soon. I mean like in a decade. A decade. Maybe it's like selling for 200. Maybe. I could honestly see this book always staying around. Right now, I think it's between 75 and 125, somewhere in there. So it's right now, I feel like it's right at its average. It could just stay there for like forever. So, yeah, I don't really know. This is not like, I would say, a big investable type book. If you have it, buy it because you love it, and then just keep it. If it goes up, great. But try to sniff out a deal. All right, Avengers #47. This one also is currently sitting at 101. But this is for a 7.0. And in January, it was averaging 134, down 25%. And then all of 2023 sold for 163. That was down 38%. And then at its peak, it was selling for $595. That one is down 83%. So this one kind of got hit hard because of the Dane Whitman Black Knight whole thing and the Eternals and all that stuff. And that didn't really pan out. Now, did it? So this book got hit hard. If you were going to get a Black Knight one, I would go for number 48 over this one. The cover is much, much better, and I feel like it's going to hold its better value a lot better than this one. In terms of where I see this book going, for a 7.0, I mean, I put it in the 7.0, but all the grade ranges except a couple were pretty much down. It's hard to get every single grade range to be one direction. I mean, it happens, but if the book is really tanking. But so that to me leads like, so if you have, let's say 80% of all grades are going down in the month of March or February or whatever, those 2 months, and only like 20% are going up, that means that I feel like it still could drop a little more. But this is pretty low already. So maybe it goes down to like an $80 book. But yeah, that is it. Have a great day.